My name is Anna. I like roses, robot fish and bathing. As a Catholic girl, even in a bikini. Speak to you in a time that is far in the future. People are no longer on Earth, but me. How it came to this, and what I have to do with it, tell these records. A normal life until that day in August changed everything, for they came to get me. Here I was. But where was here? I was kidnapped by aliens, and I was lying on a table. It should be, please, no dissection table. I was not tied up, but I could hardly move.
Don't be alarmed, my love. It's me, Elvis.
Elvis?
No, Elvis. Elvis.
Elvis? Why not Elvis?
That was before my abduction.
You were abducted?
In 1977.
Yes, of course. And why did they kidnap you?
They wanted the king.
You are the king.
That's right. King of the hot rhythm. Blue, blue, no blue suede shoes, no baby.
Elvis, you were much more than just a singer.
I like to sing, but not always the old hits. Not always the old hits.
What would you like to sing?
A song from my homeland. My true Heimatland.
Muss sie denn zum Städtele hinaus? Städtele hinaus, nur du, mein Schatz, bleibst hier.
Yeah, that was great. But there's something completely new.
Oh, please, sing your new hit for me, Elvis. Come on, do it.
Du bist in meinem Herzen, du gehst mir nicht mehr aus dem Sinn. Und sage mir, liebst du mich auch, oder ist denn alles schon vorbei? Die Sonne geht auf, wenn du vor mir stehst und ich in deine Augen schau. geht für mich die Sonne auf. Geht für mich die Sonne auf. Geht für mich die Sonne auf.
Elvis?
Elvis.
Yes, of course. My dear Elvis, please stay here. Do not leave me alone.
Die Sonne geht auf, wenn du vor mir stehst und ich in deine Augen schau, geht für mich die Sonne auf. Die Sonne geht auf, wenn du vor mir stehst und ich in deine Augen schau, geht für mich die Sonne auf.
Relax, Anna.
I cannot.
We don't need this, right?
Who are you?
I'm Fel.
Val, I was kidnapped. That is not okay.
Yes, I understand you. It isn't understandable.
Not understandable? It is wrong. You kidnapped Elvis.
No, Elvis.
You wanted a king, and you got him. Why me?
You are the queen.
How do you mean that?
We saw your crown.
But that's just my bath towel.
Whatever you call it, it makes you the queen. It always needs a king and a queen.
You are totally stupid.
We don't think so.
And what should I do now?
You'll find out later. First, we will get to know you better.
How do you mean? Get to know you better? Don't do this, please! Not! Val! 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 No! No! Val! What have you done, Phil?
I had to examine you. But don't be alarmed. You are healthy.
Do you treat a queen like that?
Yes.
I do not feel like a queen. A queen can move.
You will be able to do that right away. Then get up and go into the light behind the door.
Phil? Phil? I can see no light. There is no door. There is no light.
A jungle. That was my next stop. I was ready to accept the challenge, but not in such a terrible dress. Luckily, there was a lot of nature that could help me. Even for good company was taken care of, because robotic fish relieved my homesickness. by and I made good progress. If there had not always been this pulling in the stomach. Was I infected with a virus? Or was it only hunger? I had to eat some of my beloved robot fish. Please forgive me, dear fishline. I gave birth to 2 wonderful children who gave me much pleasure from then on. They were already well developed externally, did not speak very much, actually not at all, and almost looked like toy dolls. Also, that they did not move calmed me. But I still loved the 2 very much.
Don't be scared. It's me.
Hitler?
Hitler. Hitler.
Couldn't you also say Mittler? For Mr. apostrophe Hitler.
As you wish.
Surely you were kidnapped too. 1945?
That's correct. But not right.
Sure, 33 would have been better.
That's a misconception. Man needs leadership.
Hatred, corrosion, suffering, death.
Such thinking is naive. You speak like a child.
The big people never understand anything by themselves. It's hard for children to explain everything to them over and over again, over and over again, over and over again.
Your words are like flying humming in my ears.
Truth needs purity and a clear mind.
You stole that from me. Truth is not discovered. It's created. Truth is what is formulated in all clarity.
Language is also a big source of misunderstandings.
Only he is entitled to criticism, which can solve a task better.
Which task did you solve?
The receptiveness of the great mass is very limited. Their understanding small. But the forgetfulness great.
Yours too. Let's be honest. You have not achieved anything positive. On the contrary, only countless pains for countless people.
Blah, 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 so what? Only a small part of the people will consist of truly active fighters. More is required of them than of the millions of other people.
For the mere confession, I believe is not enough. But the oath, I fight!
Then fight. How about that? We travel back in time, and then you make everything right again. A new beginning. Billions of sorrows taking back billionfold. Women don't lose their men, and mothers don't lose their daughters. Fathers not their sons, parents not their children. A son won't lose his mother.
If you really want it.
I just had to breastfeed my 2 darlings and then go to sleep, happy with a good situation. I was glad that he wanted to undo his cruel acts and offered him an overnight stay. He preferred to stand. How could I be so stupid as to trust this man? Now my children were at his mercy. Why did I only allow that? But it had to go on, and I had to follow him back to Earth. But how? A wormhole. Finally, I found a worm who had already started digging a hole. I only needed to enlarge it. Not an easy task. But for my children, no hurdle seemed to be too high. I returned to Earth in the year 2063. And everything was destroyed. How could it have been otherwise? His influence on history was to be undone absolutely and without exception. I had to find a new wormhole to travel to 1918. And there it was.
I immediately volunteered for the German army on the first day of the war to fight on the Western Front. I was wounded. I was decorated. This will not have been in vain. Forest. The wolf. That was me. Who else could be the wolf than the wolf itself? Of war is all too familiar to me. It is meant to destroy the enemy emotionally. I know how to counter this sufficiently. Bloody hell. A counter-attack is to be performed. Nothing happened. You hear that?
my little wolf, ready to be shot.
Sorry. The victory. No more ammunition. Something was left.
I had defeated him, and he seemed to be generally accessible. I had already fallen for that once, so it was necessary to exercise caution.
A nice conversation developed in which he opened up to me and told me about his dreams.
I always wanted to be a painter. To paint. But it was denied me.
And he painted a picture.
I painted a picture.
A beautiful one.
A beautiful picture.
With one big flaw.
With no flaw.
He only painted himself.
I painted myself.
There was no room for others.
Who else could take my place?
Stone instead of wood, brown cloaca instead of pure spring water.
I am a non-alcoholic vegetarian.
I knew what to do. That was the only way to save the future from him.
I knew what to do. Only in my way could the future be saved.
To you in a time that is far in the future. People are no longer on Earth, but me. How it came to this, and what I have to do with it, tell these records.
Sometimes it seems that peace is just a dream, and we live in a tunnel of darkness. And who will stand by the master plan and live the laws of righteousness. Oh. Hold on to your precious heart. Don't let the world tear it apart. Put faith in you where it belongs. And together we'll be strong. And together we'll be strong.